Our media product shows conventions seen in many other films, primarily of the coming-of-age or romantic comedy genres. It contains quick cuts and frequently shifts the focus between the two characters, emphasizing their parallel morning routines with an upbeat, non-diegetic modern music played in the background. Our project covers the issues teenagers may go through during their secondary school years, including family problems and stereotypes. In this way, it falls into the coming-of-age genre. The people shown in our project are presented as being typical teenagers through mise-en-scène and the choice of clothing and their actions, etc. However, to make it less conventional, there is very little interaction between the two main characters, and they are connected only through the fact that they are the focus of the opening.
Our media product particularly represents teenage social groups. There are several of these shown in our media product, as both our main characters are very different and part of different groups at their school. It also shows the difference between males and females and how they react, and showing the situations through their eyes. This gives the audience an insight into the ways teenagers think. Also, as our target audience is mainly teenagers, it makes the media product relatable. In our film in particular, it represents teenagers as not having many worries. This is shown by both characters having the time to focus on their appearance in the morning and allowing time for them both to go for a jog or dog walk. However, due to our opening only showing a morning routine, it leaves a lot to be said about the characters. Just watching the opening, it doesn't give away too much about the background of our characters and their current life situations. We wanted to do this to encourage the viewers to continue to watch to find out more about the characters. Showing the general carefree teenager from the start makes it possible for us to let the character develop through the film, rather than showing every detail right from the start. The age group of the characters are often seen as troublemakers, often drinking and causing disruption, etc. Our film opening represents teenagers differently, hopefully giving a different and more positive impression compared to the initial stereotype.
After researching various media institutions, we think that an independent movie institution would be more likely to distribute our movie. For example, entertainment film distributors. This is because EFD are renowned for distributing British independent movies, and they have distributed films such as the Inbetweeners movie and Beautiful Creatures, both which were aimed at teenagers/young adult audience, and which fall into the coming-of-age genre. Another movie distributor which may fund our film would be Pathé Films. Although they are not necessarily an independent distributor, they have distributed films such as Chat Room, which was aimed at young adult audience and focused on the issues that teenagers may experience.
Our media product is aimed at 15 to 25-year-olds. This is because the events that occur in the film are realistic in a teenager's life, and therefore the audience can relate to the film and the characters. By making the situations the characters get into realistic, it enables the viewers to connect with the characters and understand how they may feel as it is happening.
We addressed our audience by making it very clear that the film was intended for a young adult audience. To do this, we used teenage actors who looked ordinary to make it more believable, and used background music that would appeal to a younger audience. In addition, for the text introducing the film title, What About Casey, and the character's name, we used a font that was easy to read but has a teenage feel to it, not too sophisticated and equally not childish. We also used frequent cuts between the characters, which a young adult audience would be familiar with, as it is seen often in films aimed at a similar audience, for example in 500 Days of Summer.
When we first started creating our film opening, none of us had ever put together a movie or used iMovie editing software. On our first day of filming, we found ourselves doing a lot more shots than necessary due to the fact we weren't confident on what would look best. However, when it came to later days of filming, after we had already completed some of the editing, it became easier for us to recognise what shots may work best. This therefore showed that we became more confident with the filming and the style we wanted for our film opening. When it came to editing, none of us knew how to work the software, yet we quickly picked it up. We decided to do all the basic editing to start with, as that was the most self-explanatory part. We put all the shots together roughly where we thought we wanted them to be placed, and gradually edited the lengths and shot placement after watching the video through and recognising what didn't look right. Throughout the editing period, our skills on the Mac built up and we became more confident with using iMovie. This is when we input other editing features such as the credits and transition effects. Overall, during the process of filming and putting together our opening, we have learnt several new skills with the technologies that we used.
Since filming our preliminary task, I feel that the group have learnt more about different aspects of filming and thought more about detail. For example, in the preliminary task, we used very simple shots with low standard editing skills. This is mainly because we weren't confident with using the software on the Mac computers. However, we soon picked up the necessary skills to make our film opening look more professional compared to our preliminary task. In the full product, we used the 180-degree rule more accurately and took more care in the positioning of the camera due to the fact that we had more time in which to improve the quality of our filming in the full product compared with the preliminary. We also took more risks in our full product because we didn't follow our storyboard exactly, as when it came to filming, we filmed and edited what we thought would look better.